Hey, so there's definitely some nutrients that aren't absorbed very well when you have the stomach not performing optimally. Let me just tell you about a few. Basically, you can assume that most of the nutrients you consume in your diet are not going to be as absorbed as highly as they are if you don't have that issue. But let me just talk about a few that are kind of crucial, I think. Number one is going to be this little guy, vitamin B12. So B12 is actually a very complicated way that you absorb B12. I won't go into it in this video because it's way too time consuming. But at the end of the day, you need saliva, stomach acid, and a component called pepsin in your gut to actually help turn on B12 and let it be delivered to the cells. So interestingly, B12 is malabsorbed when you do have some of those issues in big quantities. So that's one of the nutrients that goes down. It also goes down with the use of proton pump inhibitors, or that medication class, that PPI class that most of you are on. It's decreased in those that are clinically proven as well. So at the end of the day, we might need to put some B12 back in there to kind of satisfy some of the symptoms going on up top. Magnesium. I use magnesium glycinate with a lot of people. Magnesium glycinate is a version that actually won't play with the bowels there. So mag citrate is used in some people. Mag citrate's great for those of you that are a little bit constipated because it has like a bowel loosening effect. It might help you poop a little bit more. I like that in some people as well. But glycinate's my go-to, unless you have a crazy amount of anxiety. If you have a crazy amount of anxiety, I'll probably leer towards the citrate version and maybe push you towards more skin-absorbed versions, so like getting in the bath, that kind of stuff to absorb magnesium. But magnesium is one of those things that's also pulled down and malabsorbed when you have digestive issues inside the gut, especially with use of proton pump inhibitors. So it's kind of interesting. Another one is folate, methylfolate. I use the methyl-activated version of folate there. That's another one drawn down just like B12. B12 and folate are pretty much brother and sister. They go together. They work together quite well. So we got to look at that logically too. Add folate back in there. Super important for letting cells divide normally. So it does a lot of functions to the body. But again, folate's another video all in itself. So sometimes I use folate. Calcium. It's interesting. I just read a study recently that when people that have lower stomach acid, higher stomach acid, so basically their stomach acid is not acidic enough, calcium's only absorbed at about 2%. And interestingly, with solving the stomach acid issue, that number skyrockets to about 50% absorption rates when you eat calcium. So at the end of the day, it's kind of interesting that as we age, we think that our stomach acid goes down, and it actually does. Our stomach pH actually lowers, but instance of heartburn actually go up as we age. So interestingly, there should be a dynamic there that your heartburn should get better if indeed it is too much acid in the stomach as you age. And interestingly, it doesn't. And calcium and those nutrients that we're looking for bone health as we age are malabsorbed in those issues that when you have that stomach starting to go down. So your stomach does a lot of cool roles. And maybe it is need to solve your stomach acid to look at to negate the risk of osteoporosis or osteopenia. Maybe that's what you have to do, right? It's kind of interesting. So that's pretty much what I had to talk about with you today. There's a couple of things that I'll use, a couple of things that obviously we talk about in consultation. Don't just take anything blindly. Some of the stuff can have some negative consequences. You also want to talk to your doctor about when you start playing with the doses of your proton pump inhibitors. It can have some negative backlash. Your pharmacist is a great person to talk about with that as well. I'm not the one to tell you to stop taking your medications. They work for some people, they don't for others. The ones that they don't work for, I do quite well with. And even the ones that the heartburn medication is working to solve the underlying issue, we can still work with you while you're taking your heartburn medication, and you find that you don't need it over time. That's great. If you find that you need it, that's fine too. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to talk about anything else today as far as goes with heartburn, because this issue can expand to so many different components. There's so many different interactions there with stomach, and again, it's other videos for other times. But I wanted to tell you today that heartburn's a big topic I see quite frequently in my office, and again, I'm very well versed in using it, in using supplements and different lifestyle strategies to kind of address it. So I know it's a big topic, so if you're struggling with that and want some help, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you, and hopefully we can get you on the right track. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave me some comments or questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. So have a great day, and we'll see you soon.